Okay, this video is about price elasticity of supply, PES. The definition of price elasticity of supply is that it measures the responsiveness of supply to a change in price. So when there's a change in price, whether that is an increase or a decrease, how does supply react? Is it very responsive or does it not respond much at all? The formula for PES is the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price. Now remember, the way to remember this, it's the Q above the P, and one way to remember this is that it's the queen above the people. So the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price. Remember the definitions for the formula for percentage change is the difference divided by the original multiplied by 100. Now don't make the mistake here of multiplying the PES formula by 100. That you do not do that in the examination. Okay, it's simply the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price. Okay, numerical outcomes. Well, the answer to the formula could be 1.5 for an example. So if it is greater than 1, price elasticity of supply is elastic, which means that supply is very responsive. Firms are very responsive to a change in price. The supply is very responsive. If it's equal to 1, then it is unitary. There's simply no change to supply to a change in price. And if PES is less than 1, then the supply does not change much. The price elasticity of supply is inelastic. Let's look here at an elastic supply curve. Okay, this is elastic. Think about your 45-degree line. So we just rotate it to the right-hand side to make it elastic. Let's just get rid of that line. We don't need that. But let's put the supply curve back in there. Okay, so prices increased from P1 to P2. And you can see Q1, and here we have Q2. So there's been an increase in price, but look how responsive. Let's get the height. There's the increase in price. Here is the increase in the quantity supplied. The let's go to the pencil. The change in quantity supplied is much greater than the percentage change in price. This means that PES is elastic. And let's have a look at an inelastic supply curve now. Again, let's think about our 45-degree line. We're just going to rotate it to the left-hand side. Let's just quickly remove that one. Okay, and here we've got an increase in price again from P1 to P2. But look at the difference here is the increase in price, which is actually greater. The percentage change in the quantity supplied is now less than the percentage change in quantity supplied is less than the percentage change in price. You can see the difference between the two. Okay, so let's have a look at the factors which influence or determine PES. Firstly, spare capacity. How much capacity does the firm have spare? How much labour is spare? How much labour and resources? Think about our factors of production. How much of the machinery and computers is not being used? Because if there's loads of spare capacity, if there is lots of spare capacity, then the supply can be very responsive. So it'd be elastic because it therefore means that if there is an increase in price, of course firms want to take advantage of the increase in price because it's their objective to maximize their profit levels. Basically, if they've got loads of spare capacity, they've got all the factors of production available to actually meet the to make more products, to supply more products to the market, to take advantage of the increase in price. However, if there was no or little spare capacity, if all of their resources are being utilized, then they don't have any extra resources to supply more. So therefore, supply is likely to be inelastic. Same goes to the factors of production. This is kind of about the availability of the factors of production, and if the price goes up and firms want to take advantage of the increase in price by actually supplying more, have they got the factors of production available to do that? Is there enough? Do they have labour at their disposal? Are there enough resources in order to meet the extra supply? If there is available, heavily available, and there's lots of factors of production available, then yes, they can be very elastic. Supply would be very elastic. However, if there is few available or it's unavailable, then it is likely, or supply is likely to be inelastic. Okay, and then the availability of stocks. Again, if there's loads of stock available, then firms can be very responsive, be very elastic. If they've got loads of products in stock and there's an increase in price and they want to supply more to the market, take advantage of the increase in price, then if they've got loads of stock available, then they can be very responsive. Supply can be very elastic. If there is few or no stock available, then it's going to take time. It's going to be time consuming to make more stock, to grow more stock. And that goes nicely to our last point, which is about time. If the price goes up in the short run, supply is likely to be inelastic. It's going to take time to grow more materials. It's going to take time to recruit more people. It's going to take time to train people. It's going to take time to buy more machinery or build a bigger factory in order to supply more products. However, in the long run, it would be more elastic, because in the long run, you've got more time to build a bigger factory, to employ more people, etc., etc.